Hi everyone, welcome to Honey Drops Tarot. This is a reading for the water signs, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, and their twin flame connection. Water signs, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your likes, shares, and subscribes. I truly appreciate it. Just a quick note, please do not fall for any scammers. I will never reach out to solicit for a private reading. I do offer private readings, and if you're interested in signing up for one of those or in making a donation, the information regarding that can be found in the About section of my YouTube page, and I thank you so much in advance. I do realize that I have a lot more subscribers than I did before, so I would like to send a special thank you to Cosmos High Priestess on YouTube, who is a tarot reader of mine, and she's also a tarot teacher. Where I learned to read tarot was all the teachers on YouTube, and she is by far one of the best. So I highly recommend her, and I've gotten personal readings from her, and that's kind of how we found each other. And so I'm so grateful to her and to all of you who are newly subscribed, and to those who have been subscribed and continue to watch. So thank you so much. This reading is for twin flames in separation, and doing something a little bit different today. If you're not sure what a twin flame connection is, or you want a little bit more information about the intricacies behind that connection, I've actually put a link in my description box to a woman that some of you may have heard of. Her name is Gabi Kovalenko. I have no connection to her other than I just greatly respect her. She is an esoteric philosopher, modern philosopher, and she's very, very wise. And she educates herself constantly on esoteric issues and spiritual concerns, and she's tremendously knowledgeable. And she has a twin flame explanation video, I guess, if you want to call it that. That is by far the most comprehensive explanation. I could not begin to explain it better than her. But being a twin flame myself, it completely resonated with me. So I'm going to link that in the description box below so that I can just get right to the reading. I'm going to be using 3 decks for this reading today. I'm going to take one card from the Sacred Rebels Oracle for the overall energy of your connection. And I'm going to be using as the base spread the Cosmovisions Oracle. And this is a much bigger deck than the cards that I have here, but I've pulled out only the kind of non-tarot oracle cards that are, this is kind of a mixture of both tarot and oracle. I've only pulled out the oracle cards to use for your base spread. And for your main tarot reading, I'm going to be using the beautiful, amazing Tarot of the Abyss. Just wanted to get right to it. Essentially, there could be a message for everyone in this. If you are a cross watcher, or if you just found yourself to this reading, I welcome you. There could be a message for you. I am speaking to twin flames in separation. Like I mentioned, I am a twin flame. I am in separation from my twin. And through this process, through this journey, I had my spiritual awakening and discovered my spiritual gifts, this being one of them. So I'm going to get right to it. I'm going to have 4 slots. They're going to be your energy, your person's energy, the connection, and advice from spirit. And you may feel as though you can flip the energies, as twin flames often mirror each other. So just take what resonates. Take what resonates. So water signs, you got going beyond normal. Number 14, which is the Temperance card in the Major Arcana. So Temperance talks all about alchemization, kind of transmuting energy, which sometimes I don't think people know what that actually entails unless you're actually doing it. But I was really thinking about this because this happened to me the other day. between two family members, that I had to basically be the middleman. So when we transmute energy and transmute emotions, we're in a sense taking in energy from outside of ourselves, and through the process of absorbing, evolving, connecting, when that energy comes back out, it's the idea that we've somehow healed it in some way. And I had to be kind of the go-between. They don't really realize this or understand this, but I do it constantly, where I have to be the like a filter, where I can look at two people who are hurting, and I can understand that in trying to connect to one another, there's a misunderstanding, and so somehow I have to create understanding out of it. Now, sometimes it's a choice and sometimes it isn't, but this card is evoking that for me. It's almost as if you can see here, there's all these buttons, and when I think of buttons, I think of sewing, and I think of mending, and I think of fixing, and I think of connecting. So there's a lot going on in this card for your connection right now. This makes me think of time and the Wheel of Fortune, our bright ideas, right? A light bulb over the head usually represents ideas, but it's also, this mending, it's also like a crown. There's so much in this card. I think between you and your twin right now, especially when it says going beyond normal, the Spirit is kind of asking you to enter into the realm of the extraordinary, which, if you're just starting on your twin flame journey or your spiritual journey, that can sound like crazy wackadoo. What do you mean extraordinary? Right? I'm just a normal person. I'm not extraordinary. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, if you identify and relate to the twin flame journey, you are extraordinary. Not everybody has a twin. Not everybody is a twin flame. Not everybody incarnates in the same lifetime as their twin. The whole point of the twin flame journey is not necessarily to come together again in union, although if that's what you want, I wish that for you. It's about recognizing our own unique gifts, skills, and abilities, our spiritual gifts, and to raise the vibration of humanity. That is truly what this is all about. And how can one raise the vibration of humanity without being in some way beautiful and extraordinary? So that's the first thing. Accepting that you are, which is difficult for some people to do, but I'm just going to ask you right now to accept it. Okay, I'm going to pull 4 cards from the Cosma Visions Oracle. And then 4 cards from the Tarot. Okay, oh well. All right, so water signs. This is your energy, but like I said, feel free to flip it with your persons if you identify more with that. It's okay, right? Because twins mirror each other. Sometimes you're the chaser, sometimes you're the runner. You don't flip that often in terms of polarities, but you could find, I don't know why I feel like I need to say this, but you could find yourself flipping more often than normal lately. At the time I'm reading this, we're going through this massive impending solar eclipse that's having everybody kind of freaking out, which I don't know why. It's not like eclipses haven't happened before, but we just gotta live our lives, right? We don't want to be too panicky about things. You know, just mind your spiritual P's and Q's. Be a good person. You feel like you're about to run off the rails, go sit in a closet and cool down for a second. I mean, like, and recognize that everybody else is going to be, you know, off the rails for a time. So this is when, you know, twins, this is when we're really called upon to have patience. Talking about temperance, number 14, talking about patience. We're going to be really called upon to do that. And sometimes it sucks because it's like, well, why do I have to be the one to be patient? Well, because don't you want to be a more evolved version of yourself? In order for us to be more evolved versions, then we're going to get tested. I think you're up to the challenge, absolutely. The first card that you have is the Geomancer. Right off the bat, I see this as like a really big third eye / evil eye. You could be feeling like there's been some evil eye energy on you lately. What does that mean? Like, I don't want to talk about it in terms of like being cursed or anything like that, but being the subject of envy, being the subject of jealousy. That the thing about twin flames is that when the twins stop focusing on their person and they start focusing on themselves, massive up-leveling happens. Your abundance starts to flow, starting to get new jobs, great promotions, more money, you start to look better, start to feel better, because you're focusing that energy back on yourself and not your twin or anybody else. And when that happens, people try to bring you back down to their level. Who do they think they are, right, water signs? So that's a little bit of the energy here. But the Geomancer is someone, you can see here, they're barefoot. This is the way that I interpret this card, is like really connecting back to Mother Earth energy. So really grounding yourself and recognizing how important that process is. Spirit just showed me some steps that I'm trying. I'm just trying them. I'm not saying I'm an expert in any way, and not necessarily suggesting it to you, but Spirit is showing me and wanting me to share. So I started intermittent fasting. Not even, you know, I would like to lose some weight, but it's like not even about the weight. It's more about the discipline, because there are a couple people at work who are, well, I have a lot of friends who celebrate Ramadan. And so, of course, they fast for like a month. And I just was really inspired by that. And then I had a friend, a fellow water sign, who was doing a juice cleanse, and then she was doing intermittent fasting, and she lost a whole bunch of weight. And then, but it was just like massive glow up. Like, not just her physical, but just like her energy. And I was so inspired by that. And I thought, you know, Spirit is always bringing these issues up, that, you know, we should be eating more plants. We should be absorbing things into our bodies that absorb light, so that we can be of the light. And that just makes a lot of sense to me at this point in my life. I'm like, I love to, you know, partake in a lot of different things, coffee and candy being one of those things, or two of those things. But it's just about me saying, okay, let me just see if I can do it. So that there could be something in your life where you are implementing a new strategy for yourself to have some discipline. Maybe it's your sleep schedule, or making sure that you exercise more, or eat more healthy, or have a mindfulness practice, or even if it's not even any of those things, but it's just like, I'm gonna have a date with my friends, you know, once a week. We're gonna go out to eat, or we're gonna go see a movie, whatever it is that is increasing and up-leveling your frequency, staying in high vibration. It really affects you. And I see this connection right now, and Spirit's making that connection for me. It's clarified by the number 5, which is the Hierophant in the Major Arcana. In this deck, it's called the Wise One. Look at that. Look at that kind of crown of feathers. These look like they're rays, but that's a really beautiful synchronicity. Kind of shamanistic energy, elder energy, something really ancient and sacred here. You're tapping into some ancient wisdom right now. The Wise One, or the Hierophant card, typically talks about someone who is divinely connected. So they're the intermediary between the material world and the spirit world. So a pastor, a priest, an imam, like a rabbi, a spiritual coach, a guru, etc. Or just a really wise, connected friend, right? But you did get this card in reverse. So it almost kind of tells me that there may be some teachings or learnings from your past that you are now questioning, maybe breaking away from, you know, kind of this idea that you're looking for your own answers, going beyond normal, right? So this is just an example. Like if you grew up in a temple or the church or whatever, you grew up with a certain dogma or certain sacred text that you read, and you've gotten to this point in your life where maybe you're questioning that. It's always good to question things, because we question them, and then we come back to them, then we know that it's ours. We know that it's meant for us. So it's always good to question, right? And so I kind of feel like you're in this space right now where through this twin flame journey, you're discovering a lot more spiritual things, synchronicities, crazy messages and downloads, astral projection, all sorts of things happen when your twin flame connection is activated, like truly. And it really could throw a lot of things in your life into an upheaval or topsy-turvy. Because in a certain sense, I see both of these figures as like kind of the same, but one is upside down, one is right side up. It's like, you know, this energy represents Taurus in the Major Arcana, very grounded energy. So it's almost like I see you kind of a little bit caught between two worlds of what you've been taught by people and what you're connecting to with Mother Earth, for example. So I'm going to pull a clarifier for that. Can I have a clarifier for twins, please, Spirit? Water sign energy. Wow. 9 of Pentacles. This is pre-Empress energy. Another Earth energy. So that's 3 Earth energies for your, I don't know if I'm talking to a cross-watcher who's an Earth sign, or you have very prominent Earth sign placements in your chart, your astrological chart. But the 9 of Pentacles, pre-Empress energy, it's really beautiful, and it talks about somebody who is abundant, very independent thinking. So what this really shows me is that you have been focusing on your own endeavors. Maybe your twin has just been a little MIA, or a wishy-washy is what I just heard. Your twin perhaps has been a little wishy-washy, and it's frustrated you, and so now you're just like, you know what? I'm not going to give any energy to that feeling because it frustrates me. So what I'm going to do now is I'm just going to focus on myself. And it's just like I said, when you focus on yourself, all of this abundance comes towards you. But it's not even about it coming towards you, which it does, but it's also about you cultivating it. You've cultivated it because you're working on yourself. You're working on your goals. You're trying to figure out, what am I doing on this planet Earth? What is my mission? What is my life's blueprint? What am I meant to do? And I think you're like, you know, really on your way. And also, I feel like you're enjoying yourself too. Like I mean, even with this bird in your hand, it's like when I see this, it's like precious. It's like, I don't take this for granted. I see how special this is. That's the energy that I get from this card. All of a sudden, I felt very tense in my jaw. I felt a lot of tension in my jaw. So that could be something that you're dealing with. I don't know if you're experiencing something with your lymph nodes, your jaw, your inner ear. Maybe Spirit's trying to say that you've been experiencing some clairaudient abilities where you can hear things. You can hear Spirit, like your ears ringing, full-blown messages. But the tenseness of the jaw suggests to me that there's still a lot of things that are unsaid in this connection, which I can identify with. There's so much that you want to express to your twin, but have perhaps been unable to. Maybe you're wondering when the time is going to be right. Maybe your twin isn't aware that they're your twin, but you've seen the signs. I feel like I just heard somebody ask in their mind, how did I know my person was my twin? So my twin is an ex, and we were apart. We've been apart longer than we were ever together, but when I was going through my spiritual awakening, I found a beautiful tarot reader on YouTube. I had never watched tarot before, but then I started watching her. Her name is Baba Jolie. I'm sure some of you are familiar. She has like almost, I don't even know, 750,000 followers. She is the real deal. I don't know her personally, but I feel like I know her heart. Her spirit guides and my spirit guides talk. Anyway, she does twin flame readings. I didn't know what a twin flame was. And then when I had started listening to these readings, I thought, oh, this is very strange. Oh, this sounds like my situation, that I can't explain why my twin would call me after months and months and months when he could sense that something was wrong, even though we hadn't talked, or I could sense something in him was wrong, even though we hadn't talked. And during one twin flame reading, I was just at my wit's end, because oftentimes in this journey, you question whether or not it's real. Society questions whether it's real. And there's a part of you that it drives you insane. You just start to think, this is just baloney. Like, this is toxic. This is baloney. I don't even know. And I just got to that place where I was just questioning spirit, questioning everything. I didn't want to hear about it anymore. I didn't want to think about it or think about him or anything. And I said to the heavens, I'm not going to believe this stupid twin flame crap unless you make Baba Jolie say his name. Because Baba Jolie, her spirit guides say names to her all the time. Symbols, names, places. And up until that time, she had been saying very specific references that I aligned with. And I kind of cried out to Spirit and I said, I'm not going to believe this twin flame thing unless you prove it to me. So the very next reading I watched, Cancer reading, because I'm a Cancer, twin flames. At the very end of that particular week, that particular reading, after I had cried out and said, I'm not going to believe this crap, Baba Jolie said his name at the end of the reading. And I broke down in tears right then and there. His name is not common. It's not common in any way. So I can't refute it. And nor do I want to, because I'm so thankful for the gifts that have come forward. And I feel as though you're really starting to inhabit that self-confidence in what your gifts actually are. This is a cultivation. Now, gifts, not talking about, yes, I'm talking about spiritual gifts, but we can have all sorts of gifts. You know, maybe you're meant to be an investment banker, but you're really good with numbers and it's just something you want to do. And maybe in the future, you're going to be using your skills as an investment banker to then open up a bakery. How many stories have we heard of former doctors, former lawyers, whomever, they do these high-powered jobs, and then later in their life, they're just like, no, I quit all that and I opened up a bakery and I've never been happier. Whatever it is. There's no judgment on being a lawyer or a doctor, but whatever your skill is, if you're living out that life, then you're doing justice to yourself and to the twin flame journey, because you're focusing on you. What is your person going through right now? The Death card. This is one of the oracles in this deck. It's, so you can see here the flame kind of floating in their hand. The Death card talks about endings bringing new beginnings. Your twin, this is clarified by the Six of Wands. And take it as it resonates. This could be your energy. That could be your twins. Your twin is, I have to say, they're having a rebirth and they're having a major glow up. And that might piss you off a little bit. But just remember, when our twin succeeds, we succeed. When our twin is happy, we're happy. Because the idea is that your twin is you. You share the same energetic soul. Your twin is you. That's also the challenge, right? Can we be happy when our twin is happy, even if it doesn't involve us in many ways? But I see here, you know, they went through a really introspective change, right? Bare bones. All they had was the basics, and it's kind of like they've had this beautiful glow up. The Six of Wands talks about public recognition, awards, promotion, accolades. I'm going to ask for a clarifier for their twins' energy. The Eight of Wands. Your twin might reach out to you to tell you about it. This is fast action and fast communication. This is streamlining energy with these geese in the V formation. It's very aerodynamic, streamlined energy. Your twin might reach out to you soon to tell you about the good things that have happened to them. I'm going to ask you, are you able to be happy for them? Can you find it in your heart to be happy for yourself? This is not to say that you just have to listen to their end of it. Why don't you tell them about what you've been up to? For the connection, this is stunning energy. I'm so excited, you know, because I'm a water sign too. So the Peacock and the Strength card. So the Peacock we can see here, I mean, one is a symbol that represents beauty and abundance, but in this particular card, there's portal energy. It's almost like energetically, I see you and your twin both up-leveling and stepping through this beautiful portal. Sorry, there was a weird moment where I thought I saw a face right there. Like when I look at it directly, I don't see it. But when I look in the camera, there's a face right there. That's so trippy. I mean, I'm not entirely sure how that's relevant, but it's almost just like, okay, they just gave it to me. Thank you, Spirit. It's like one of you is going to walk through this portal and you're going to look back and you're going to say, are you going to come with me? Isn't that what the twin flame journey is, right? That there's a runner-chaser dynamic, and most often the chaser is the one that is a little bit more spiritually inclined. They're a little bit more spiritually advanced. Because as a chaser, they recognized their twin early on. They looked at that person and said, oh, that's definitely my person. They could see it, they could recognize it, they could accept it wholeheartedly. So I kind of feel like if you're the chaser, I feel like you're the one that's already stepped through that portal. And it's, you know, twin. You know, there's a song now that's, I don't know if it's actually about twin flames, but it's a song out, I don't know who sings it, but it's just, the lyrics are twin, where have you been? Nobody knows me like you know me. It's kind of good. It's like an R&B song. But I just heard that, twin, where have you been? Nobody knows me like you know me. With the Strength card, Major Arcana number 8, representing Leo energy. Your twin could be a Leo or have prominent Leo placements. The Strength card talks about mastery over the ego. For a twin flame connection, this could mean like a mastery over codependence, right? This idea that we have to be with our twin, we can't be separated from them in any way, or we don't know who we are without them. It's like an identity crisis, right? Well, the Strength card serves to kind of break down the identity. It's an ego death, right? Which is what your person could have had here, ego death. Spiritual people all have to go through ego death because it no longer becomes about the I. It becomes about the oneness of you and the universe, that there's no separation. So there's this beautiful energy here that you are really working on yourself. The Spirit wanted me to show this to you. I don't know if you can kind of, I don't have anything like that's dark. I don't have anything that's dark, but I don't know if you can see it, but this symbol is the twin flame journey, the twin flame symbol. So there's like infinity sign and a flame coming up. It's kind of like a Harry Potter thing too, but I found this and I just touched it and Spirit wanted me to show you. Did you know there was a twin flame symbol? Spirit's advice. This is a gorgeous card, Infinite Paths. Here we are, right? It's almost like this. Like if this door is facing this way, are we walking in? Is our twin coming with us, or are we coming out the other side, walking a path on our own? That's a real possibility. You know, you could end up with a soulmate, soul partner, and not your twin. The point is that you came to live your fullest journey, regardless of what your twin does. It's difficult. 8 of Pentacles in the reverse. Spirit shows me that sometimes you want to give up. You want to give up on this notion, the journey, everything. Right? 8 of Pentacles is where we invest the majority of our time. So sometimes it can refer to a work situation, but for me, it's just your investment in the journey. Spirit is showing me that there are moments when you just say, I'm going to infinite path right on out of here. I don't think that that's what they're suggesting. Look. Yeah. 4 of Wands, the Moon card. Moon is Pisces energy. Pisces, you showed up in your own reading. 4 of Wands is the twin flame card. 1111. 4 of Wands is the twin flame card. There's so many mysteries, right? The moon is all about mysteries, illusion, and confusion. But I'll have you note here that this is a celebratory energy. No matter what your twin is doing, there is a lot of reason for you to be proud of yourself. I mean, if I asked you to really write down everything that you've accomplished in your separation, I mean, I think you'd probably be astounded by yourself. how much you've gone through. And it's not all like doom and gloom and heartache and heartbreak. It's not all that. Some of it is just really, truly happy moments that you came to on your own journey. Spirit is kind of saying keep the faith, and more about like keep the faith in the process. Don't look at the outcome, just look at the process. Continue to ask those questions. Continue to explore the mind space. Explore the idea of you being extraordinary. So that's your reading, twins. I hope that it resonated. If it did, please like, share, subscribe, comment down below. Please hit the bell notification to be updated as to when I post new readings. Thank you, water signs.